Journal entry number 10, Kentrosaurus. But first, did you know that Kentrosaurus' brain was the size of a walnut or a golf ball? And that scientists believed this dinosaur had a good sense of smell after studying brain casts? Keep watching to learn more. Kentrosaurus is a herbivorous dinosaur that lived in what is now Tanzania in the late Jurassic period. Kentrosaurus is known primarily for the spikes running down its back and tail, and is also what the dinosaur is named after, its name meaning sharp point or prickly lizard in Greek. The spikes could grow to be 2.4 feet or 0.73 meters in length, and was most likely used for defense against other predators. But since the spikes were long and skinny, they were much more prone to bend and break than the spikes of Stegosaurus. Kentrosaurus also had shoulder spikes, which were originally thought to be on its hips, but due to the discovery of Gigantospinosaurus in China, which also had spikes on its shoulder, most scientists say that the spikes were located there. This dinosaur also had a very long tail, which made up half of its body, and it was put to good use, because it could swing it at a 130-degree arc, and create forces greater than that needed to break a human skull, and could wound creatures much larger than itself. This creature also had an odd center of gravity, which made it easier for it to swing its tail and stand on its hind limbs. However, this creature also had many other features, like a small elongated head, a long neck, and long hind legs, which were twice as long as the legs in the front, and pointed its spine and head down towards the earth, which made it perfect for eating ground foliage. However, this also made it impossible for it to eat higher up food, and if it tried, it would break its spine. Being the perfect ground eater, this animal would have weighed a lot, and it did, being about 2,200 to 6,600 pounds, or 998 to 2,994 kilograms in weight, which is heavier than the average female hippo. Being this heavy, this creature could be up to 5 feet or 1.5 meters tall, which is as tall as some small cars, and 15 feet or 4.5 meters long, which is about as long as the average car. Kentrosaurus is already quite fascinating with all of its physical attributes, but its discovery is another interesting thing about this dinosaur. The first fossils of Kentrosaurus were found by German paleontologist and geologist Werner Ernst Martin Jansensch in 1909 in the Tendegar Formation of Tanzania. Months later, many more expeditions were sent to Germany and East Africa, and even though no complete skeletons were found, over 1,200 more Kentrosaurus bones were uncovered, which belonged to about 50 individuals. Later in 1915, German paleontologist Edwin Henning would describe and name the creature, and would coin the name Kentrosaurus, which he would get backlash over because it sounded similar to another dinosaur named Centrosaurus. So in 1916, Henning renamed the dinosaur to Kentrosaurus, which means pointed tail saurian, and then the Hungarian geologist and paleontologist Franz Nopscha would rename Centrosaurus to Doryphosaurus, which means lance-bearing saurian, but the renaming was needed because the spelling and pronunciation of the two names were different, and so Kentrosaurus is considered a junior name for Kentrosaurus. Henning also added the specific name Kentrosaurus aethiopicus to denote the province from Africa. Later in 1939 through 1945, the Second World War, many of the 1,200 fossils that were found years prior were sadly destroyed, and most of the remaining bones, roughly 350 specimens, were brought to the Museum of Natural History in Berlin to be housed there. Now time for some quick facts about Kentrosaurus. Kentrosaurus was a relatively small dinosaur. A digital Kentrosaurus model was made in 2005 after scanning some Kentrosaurus remains. Female Kentrosauruses might have had bigger thighs than the males, which is proof of sexual dimorphism in dinosaurs. Kentrosaurus may have squatted for defense. Kentrosaurus most likely had a varied diet, but most likely ate plants such as ferns, horsetails, and mosses. So if you liked the video, make sure to like and subscribe to get more content like this in the future. Also make sure to comment what dinosaur you want me to talk about next, so I'll be going on another adventure to document my findings in the Jurassic Journal. See you next time.